Today we have the long-awaited PC7000 digital multimeter from SANWA in the spotlight. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. PC7000 has garnished so many requests on the channel. I'm telling you, the last year I have had numerous requests for this multimeter. So bated breath, finally the 7000 is live in the studio. And let's start off with what we get in the box. PC7000 manual, and it's a thick one. Look at that. Yeah, it's a thick one because this multimeter does a lot of stuff. Oh, just wait till we get into the details. Of course, it comes with a thermocouple because, yes, of course, it does temperature. And as always, the SANWA calibration certificate, so you know that your SANWA has been factory calibrated. And as well, we have these gorgeous, and I just love my SANWA test leads. And these ones are the TL23A's 10 amp high current rating on them, pointy like you wouldn't believe, gold tipped. I've been using these specific leads for years and years, and they are definitely one of the top 3 test leads that you can use on a multimeter. Once again, that multimeter is feature packed. Look at the manual. I mean, this thing goes on and on and on. It is like a Tolstoy novel. Amazing. Wow, so much information here. And that's because this is a multimeter that is really a serious test instrument. 50,000 counts up to 500,000 counts. 500,000 counts in DC voltage mode. Whoa! That is one of the highest of any multimeter in the biz. Yeah, so we're going to have a really good look at this meter today. First impressions with the PC7000 are very good. Wow, this is a solidly built multimeter. Like most of the SANWAs are, you definitely know you're holding something special. Has a lot of weight to it, and it just feels ultra good in the hand. Of course, we have the removable boot as well. Comes out eventually, just takes a little prodding, but there you go. And once that boot is out, we have solid tilt stand as well. You just got to lift up where it says up, pull it up, and it is easy breezy. As you can see, that PC7000 multimeter, definitely a good size meter, bigger than the PC20, same size, same footprint as the PC700, but as you can tell, a much more high resolution screen. Plus the PC700 has no backlight, which the 7000 has, but anyway, there you go. Now there's an optional USB interface for this for the PC. It is the USB 7, the KB USB 7, and it goes right in the back, right there. And it looks just like this, actually. There you go, the KB USB 7 interface on that PC 7000. Easily comes off if you want, just like so. All in all, you hook the software up to the PC, away you go. Now, I'm not going to be looking at that software today because that is another review unto itself, but always a bonus when you have data logging software that comes with your multimeter. By the way, in case you're wondering, the software itself is called PC Link 7. This is what it looks like. Comes in this nice CD tray. Windows 10 compatible, of course. PC Link software. Here it's coming on CD-ROM. And it has a lot of functionality. It has automatic retrieval. You can data save into a CSV with date and time appended. Open up multiple windows, like you name it. It does a lot of great data logging has a lot of data logging capabilities. So yeah, if you're into any sort of long-term data presets that you want to log with a multimeter, definitely consider the PC7000. Of course, you've got the test lead holders as well, and we have cutouts here for 2 different ways to hold those test leads. So depending on what you're testing, you have a couple of options. Kind of neat. And the selector switch is oh so sweet. Take a listen. Nice clickety-click, clackety-clack. No annoying beeps when you're switching ranges. Has a fantastic looking dial on it, and I mean, I love the selector switch. Beauty. Of course, that rubberized boot as well. SANWA style. Definitely has that SANWA look to it, doesn't it? Has that gray matting, very easy to hold, and keeps keeps your instrument. So here we are in DC precision mode, and we have the reference out. 10.000 is what we want. 10.001 is what we get. And the amazing thing with this gorgeous LCD display, don't you love that? I just love it. SANWA does an amazing job on these LCD displays. Something very calming, something very nice about the font. I don't know what it is exactly, but it just is top notch. By the way, we also have a bar graph as well, that segmented bar graph here at the bottom. Definitely a bonus. Okay, now what we can do with this meter as well is go from 50,000 counts to 500,000 by holding down on that RAL button for a second, and bada boom, bada bing, we are now in ultra high resolution mode for a multimeter. 10.0000 is what we want. 10.0021 is what we get. Man, at this resolution, oh, I can do this all day long. And to enable that backlight, we just hold down on the select button and away you go. Gorgeous backlight. Very, very awesome looking. What can I say? I mean, this is what a backlight should look like, at least as far as I'm concerned. No, yeah, dang it. It doesn't stay on that long, about 30 seconds or so. Oh man, SANWA, can we get that staying on as long as we want? All right, let's take a closer look at the selector switch. Wow, there is a lot going on. Starting off at the off position. Low pass filter mode with frequency, AC. Volts AC with frequency and indication for decibel measurement. AC DC volts. Millivolts DC. Millivolts AC. Continuity, resistance, and nanosiemens. Temperature in both Celsius and Fahrenheit. Capacitance up to 25 millifarad and diode. High current amps and milliamps, AC/DC. Microamps, AC/DC. At the top of the meter, we have our select switch, which doubles as a backlight. Beside that, we have the capture feature for data logging. On top of that, we have our range hold. Bottom right in the green, we have our record. Once again, at the top, we have our REL, as well as the auto 500,000 select for DC volts only. Brings up that resolution by a long shot. And finally, on the far right, we have our one-touch hold. Bottom of the meter, we have our high current input on the left, up to 10 amps. Below that, we have our milliamp microamp, up to 500 milliamps. On the top right, we have our positive input, and the bottom right, we have our ground. No other logos associated with the PC7000 other than that standard CE logo. I've been using this throughout the entire SANWA extravaganza. Look at that gorgeous poster that SANWAAmerica.com sent. Unbelievable. What a beautiful, beautiful piece of art. Loving it. Thanks, guys. As well, the back meter, they tell us exactly what we need for fuses. One 11 amp, 1000 volt, and on the low current side, we have a 400 milliamp. As you can see, that PC7000 multimeter, definitely a good size meter, bigger than the PC20. Same size, same footprint as the PC700, but as you can tell, a much more high resolution screen. Plus, the PC700 has no backlight, which the 7000 has. But anyway, there you go. Looking at AC volts right now. Remember, this is true RMS, of course. 120.4 volts, 59.9 hertz. And let's make it 60 hertz. Good stuff. Let's compare that to the 700. And boy, that is close. 60 hertz again for the 700. 120.8 volts. True RMS. Good stuff. Gotta love that dual display as well. Very easy on the eyes. And perfect readability. A quick DC accuracy test. Comparing the two SANWAs against one of the best, if not the best cheapo on the market today. The HT118A. Okay, here we go. Down, down, down. Yes, we're going from top to bottom these days. Sitting at 29.75 volts according to the GVDA power supply. 29.75 for the 700, 29.78 for the 7000, and 29.72 for Mr. HABOTEST. Down some more. Now, if you notice, we had no high voltage annunciator for any of them at the 30 volt range. Just take note of that. Sitting now at 28.4. 1 volts, 28.40, 28.43, and 28.460. Gotta love that resolution of the 7000. And just for the fun of it, let's bring up that resolution, shall we? Oh yes, 500,000 counts. Yummy. Here we go. Here we go. 20.60 volts, 20.61, 20.59, and 20.63 for the 7000. Taking it down, 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 down. Let's try and get 8 volts even. Steven, 8.00. 8.03 for the HABOTEST, 8.04 for the 700, 8.0472 for the 7000. Okay, finally, 2.08, that works. 2.10, 2.10, and 2.09. So there you go. Pretty well, neck and neck. I mean, there's definitely not a winner other than the 7000 for that pure resolution. Wow. Gorgeous bar graphs. Oh man, I just love it. Fast response display, 5 times a second. That bar graph is 60 times per second update mode when in the 50,000 count display mode. That is really fast. Just give you an example. Let's just mosey on down here. Wow. Bar graph is just absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what else to say. It's like poetry in motion. So smooth. Oh yes, beautiful. Alright, in diode mode, I'm going to start off with a standard diode. Shouldn't be any problem here. Of course there isn't. There's our forward voltage drop. We do not get an audible beep. And the red LED is lit with the forward voltage drop. The yellow, the same. The green, no problem there. We're not getting that forward voltage drop though. Over to the blue, it is lit, but no forward voltage drop, and same with the white. So a little bit disappointing in that respect, but at least they were all able to be lit. Output voltage in diode mode, 2.9 volts, just shy of 3 volts. Remember, when you're in the market for your next SANWA, or your first SANWA, whatever the case may be, you gotta buy from SANWAAmerica.com, the #1 US distributor in the United States. They have fast, incredibly good shipping, awesome people to deal with. Anything comes up, they will take care of you 100%. Tell them Darren sent you. And don't forget, we have that awesome coupon code right now, 20% off SANWA Extravaganza Week from SANWAAmerica.com. Take advantage of it. Get a good deal on your next SANWA. Feature you don't see on a lot of multimeters is that nano Siemens mode. Basically, you're measuring high resistance. Let's check this out. I've got a 100 mega ohm resistor, and it should be around 10 nano Siemens, and there we go under the hood. Okay, here we are sitting at 1 mega ohm, coming in as 0.99. 3 mega ohm. Oh, beautiful. 6 mega ohm. No problems there. Finally, 10 mega ohm. Let it settle on 10. We're getting there. Oh yeah, baby. Beauty. Nice. Let's try 100K. Whoops. That's 100K. There we go. 300K. 600K. Yeah. 1 mega ohm. Nice and fast. So this meter is a beautiful instrument if you do resistance testing on a regular basis. Like I do. And I got to say, this is my favorite multimeter ever when it comes to measuring resistance. I love this thing. Yeah, beautiful. Standard precision resistor, 100 ohm, 99.9. Finally, can I measure that problematic 0.5 of an ohm? No problem for the PC7000. Next up, I have a 10 millifarad capacitor. Shouldn't be a problem for the 7000. Here we go. And there we are.
Shall we begin?
Just under 10 millifarad. Beauty. Finally, on the low range, let's try a 10 nanofarad.
Let's begin.
Looking good. Of course, the 7000 does temperature. I've got the K-type thermocouple plugged into the test inputs, and 18.9 degrees Celsius, 19 degrees give or take. As well, it does both Celsius and Fahrenheit. Just hit that select switch and bada boom bada bing, 67. Wait, no ambient sensor on the SANWA, so if you don't have that thermocouple attached, you're not going to be able to check that temperature. Alrighty, Aphrodite, Continuity is in the house. Standard, stock, SANWA test, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. Fast, latched, and fairly loud. Masters, let's try the probe masters. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. I would say it's a notch louder. Gotta love it. .5 decibels, maximum output and continuity. Yeah, that is pretty loud. Not as loud as me though. Amps right now with the 7000, just over 10 amps. And there we go now. We're not getting any audible alarm or indicator, just letting us know that we are in the danger zone. So take note of that. Okay, let's bring it down a notch, shall we? Down to 4.505 amps. Looking good. And 1.6 amps. Oh yeah, nice and fast. No worries here. And because the milliamps are shared with the high current amps, look at the display will automatically go from milliamp to high current amp mode when you switch the input. Another cool feature as well is that alarm. You're in current right now. Let's just say you switch the selector. Now we're in volts AC, but we're still in that current input. You're getting that alarm. Very good. We got one Phillips screw to take off the back where the battery holding. Oh yeah. And look at that, easy breezy access to both the high current as well as the low current fuse. 400 milliamp ceramic on the low current side. And I am not sure yet what that high current is, but that is a high rupture capacity fuse, and that thing is absolutely gorgeous. Let's go a little bit deeper. Starting at the top this time, BTC AD85-4, that is the main IC. And that's actually covered by this daughter board here. So optically isolated from the rest of the main board itself. Very nice. Yeah, just moseying down. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous attention to detail here. Super clean. Very nice. We have our precision resistor array over there at the top, and below that we have our transistor clamp over here, diode clamp as well, and of course that big honkin' 11 amp, 1000 volt, high rupture capacity ceramic fuse. And as well, we got that current shunt right beside it, nice and beefy, and that is followed underneath here. Now it's hard to pull off, but we've got, I counted, 3 MOVs, 2 PTCs, so lots of input protection here on the 7000. And on the back, there's our piezo, and look at that, the fuse itself, the milliamp fuse, low current fuse, is there attached permanently to the opposite side of the housing. And it's making contact with that PCB by these pin headers over here. Interesting. Unfortunately, no shielding on this meter. Oh, that's too bad. Once again, very nice attention to detail. A lot of good going on underneath the PC7000. All right, gonna put things back together, come back with my closing thoughts. Closing thoughts on the PC7000 multimeter from SANWA. Oh, you know, I love it. Honestly, this is one of the best multimeters on the market today. Enough said. I've used the PC7000 for multiple years professionally. Never once has it let me down. In fact, it always puts a smile on my face because as far as testing in the field goes, this thing is hard to beat. The 7000 has a ton of features. I barely touched on it. I could literally make a review that would last 2 hours. Just don't have the time for this SANWA week. But we're talking 50,000 count display, up to 500,000 in DC volts. Man, oh man, that is hard to beat. You've got the DC plus AC, a true RMS, low pass filter for variable frequency drive, really good resolution. I mean, we're talking 0.001 millivolts for DC volts, 0.01 millivolts for AC. And you know, just spec-wise, it just doesn't end. Now, some things do aggravate me. The fact that USB optical cable is not included with the meter, and it's an expensive add-on. It's too bad SANWA didn't include it with the once again, rather frustrating. I was expecting this to at least illuminate and give us a forward voltage drop for all of the LEDs, but just not enough juice coming out of the 7000. But as I mentioned, this thing is a powerhouse in terms of functionality. Automatically range selectable crest capture modes, up to 0.8 of a millisecond. What you get is really quite admirable. Hey, the PC7000 is one of the best meters, I think, that you can buy in the high-end meter spectrum. The SANWA PC7000 gets a solid 4.5 out of 5 stars. Yes, indeed, the PC7000 is a great multimeter to add to your addition. And hey, if you're gonna have one high-end multimeter, this is the one to have. SANWAAmerica.com so much. Thank you so much for providing all these test instruments for this week-long extravaganza. Let's give a big shout out, SANWAAmerica.com. Thanks again, you guys are amazing. And don't forget that huge SANWA giveaway. That'll be next weekend live. Gonna try and have SANWAAmerica.com join us for that. Be a live stream, and we'll have some chit chat going on about SANWA, what's coming up, any questions or concerns or whatever you want to talk about. Somebody from SANWA America will be there to answer your questions. So hey, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week. It's been a lot of fun, and man, oh man, I can't wait for the next one. And speaking of the next one, keep on testing.